Good evening, everyone. Um, just, you know, I've, wow, it's a lot going on today. Lot going on, lot going on. I couldn't believe it. I didn't hear it. I'm going to give you a minute or two to people to come up in my chat. You know, I'm stunned by what I heard. I still don't believe it, but my God. What has everything came to? I'll give you some time for it to come up. Yes. So I'm giving give a little time for everybody to come up. I'm not going to be on here too long because this is a very, 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 to me, it's a sad story. It really is just a sad, sad story. I'll give you another minute or two. Wow. Okay, I'm going to just go on to everybody who comes in. You can catch it on a replay. Uh, I'm sure by now everybody knows about Charlie Kirk, who was a conservative MAGA Republican, a Christian nationalist, anti Semite, and everything else. Very anti Semitic, very racist, a very racist young man who who was the founder of Turning Point USA, which Candace Owens used to work for, who Candace Owens used to work with. Um, you know, everybody Candace Owens used to work for. Um, Let me say this before I continue on. For those who come in, please like and subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed. It's uh, Newsflash, formerly known as Things Worth Knowing, uh, formerly at Things Worth Knowing at BIGGIRL underscore 72. I have 26 people in here and one like. Please like and subscribe to my channel at Newsflash, formerly Things Worth Knowing at BIGGIRL underscore 72. Uh, anyway, I was speaking about Charlie Kirk, who was a conservative commentator. He went on campuses, college campuses across the U.S., spreading his conservative viewpoint, which I didn't agree with much of anything he said because he he once said if he saw a black guy um, flying a plane, he would hope he was qualified. He was against DEI hiring, the whole 9 yards. He was definitely MAGA, big Trump supporter, an anti-Semite in everything. You know, a Christian nationalist. He believed in women should be at home having babies. He talked about in a negative light about Taylor Swift, and you know, he spoke. He just spoke awful things. Just spoke awful things, and I definitely was not a follower of hers. But what happened to him today? I actually saw a video. It was very quick. It was taken off of Instagram very quickly, but I actually saw the shot. It, it was terrible. It was just terrible. This is not a good thing. This is not a good thing. You know, no one should be killed for their political beliefs, whether we like it or not. Like I said, he was a Christian nationalist, white supremacist, an anti Semite, and other things, And I definitely did not agree with his rhetoric. No, I didn't agree with it at all. The things he said. He said things about Jewish people. He just, but no matter what, no one, and I mean no one, deserves to be shot, to be murdered for their political beliefs. He was against gays. He was everything. He was everything that most people don't want to be. But he was definitely MAGA, big Trump supporter who who indoctrinated some of these young kids on campus, black and white kids who you know believed he was a far right. He was a right winger, far right type person. His videos are up, and he hired Candace Owens to work for his company, his Turning Point USA. That was his platform. And I'll say it again: no one deserves to be shot for their political beliefs. And he was assassinated. He was murdered. He was murdered. Uh, I really don't know what to say other than that it's really scary. It's really scary. You know, the people, because he's definitely MAGA, definitely a Trump supporter, and his rhetoric and being a Trump supporter. And this is just my opinion. I feel like this is what got him killed. This the MAGA is a fringe group. So I don't know his beliefs and stuff, but he leaves behind a wife and two small children, very small children, which it just it just it's just getting next to me because I actually saw the video of where he got he got shot, he got hit, he was sitting down and he was hit in the neck, and from the looks of it, it was like a flash, but from what I saw, it looks like he was shot in the shoulder area, and it looks like it might have had his oh god, I can't, the artery, the main artery in his neck, because blood poured out, poured his I had, it takes the vein in his neck. For some reason, I can't remember what his jugular vein. It looks like his jugular vein was severed the way he was shot. It, I don't know if that was a mistake or it was a sniper who hit him and purposely did it so he would bleed out. But the video was very quick, very fast, and if you saw it, I happened to see it because someone sent it to my granddaughter because it was on Instagram, And I don't think anybody was expecting that to out there. But the thing with this is, what I'm going to say now, I give my condolences to his family because, like I said, no one deserves to die because of their political beliefs. We may not agree with them, you may not agree with them, and I definitely did not agree with a lot of what he said, but I believe firmly he had a right to say whatever he said. His beliefs were his beliefs, and no one, and I will say it again, no one deserves to die because of their political beliefs. But now I'm going to say this, I'm going to speak on this. You've heard Donald Trump. He's sending out, he sent the National Guard out to California for Governor Newsom when they didn't need him because he said that crime was very high in California, which um, crime was at an all-time low. Hello, I didn't see who that was, but hello. Thank you for joining. And if you haven't, will you like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so? It's Newsflash, formerly known as Things Worth Knowing, at BIGGIRL underscore 72. You know, Donald Trump is sending out all of these National Guard and took over, militarized the police force in D.C., and he's planning on going to Chicago. And because all the Democratic states, he's saying they're high crime areas, but Charlie Kirk was in Utah, which is a red state, which has a Republican governor. Is he going to send in the National Guard and militarize the police force in Utah? Because all the crimes, it's been proven that all the crimes basically happen are happening in the red states, and basically the red states that have, you know, who they have carry the gun laws are different and things. So where does that leave everybody? Where does that leave everybody as far as you know the military, the criminalization? This is the thing I'm talking about. You know, the red states have the laws where it's open carry. You have a right to own your firearms, but when does it end? When I can't explain it. How? When does it end? When do we realize with gun control? Gun control needs to be taken, and not and you get the kids that get killed in the schools. We had a school shooting not too long, right after school started. Right, So it's a touchy situation, and it, it's just terrible. When you I was brought up under the assumption my grandmother would always say, if you live by the sword, you will die by the sword. And the rhetoric that Charlie Kirk pushed was not conducive to, you know, it. I don't know. I don't know. But what is Donald Trump going to do about the red states? The red states, is he going to militarize? He's going to send the National Guard to Utah now? Or is he still planning on coming to going to Chicago because that's his next target. And I feel sorry. Here's two children that are going to be without their father, you know, and because of two children are going to suffer because of, I'm going to say, the sins of his father, of their father. They have nothing to do with it because you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your parents. And I feel sorry for them, and I feel sorry for his wife. I send my sympathy and my condolences to them, but I'll say it again. I just don't get it. What happened to agreeing to respectfully disagreeing with someone? What happened to that? Why are we should all be able to agree to respectfully disagree without all the violence and all the killing and the the craziness that's going on in here. Like I said, I'm not a fan of Charlie Kirk, but I just feel like he he didn't deserve to die that way. Nobody deserves the way he did because, and I guess I'm kind of emotional about it because I saw the actual video of him sitting there and when he was shot. It, it, it just, it was a bright day in Utah and everything. And like I said, it was on Instagram. I guess the kids were watching it, and they sent it, and they sent the picture. Someone sent it to one of my granddaughters, and she sent it to her mom because she couldn't believe it that it actually happened on Instagram. It was actually shown people who sent it. And I don't know if it was intentional, but from, like I said, but from what I saw of the video, it looks like they shot him in his artery, his the main artery in his neck. I I don't know why I keep forgetting I keep forgetting in his jugular vein. Yeah, the main vein in his neck, the jugular vein in his neck, because it seemed it was something. It was unbelievable because he was shot. And it looked like in the shoulder, but I think it severed his jugular vein, and because he bled out, there's no way he could. There was no way he could survive that, and it's sad. It's so sad. But anyway, Donald Trump, this, you're going to send somebody to the red states are the one that has have the people with the open guns, the killing and shooting. They said two kids got shot in Colorado today. That kids got shot in the in school, and people are so insensitive to it, and they're not showing much empathy for this young man because of the stuff he said about people and two people, and you know he even stated one time that to that children that people dying, children dying, something to the effect that to keep your gun rights, that it was inevitable that some people were going to you know have to die, something to that effect. But anyway, like I said, the red states, they blame everything on the Democratic states. but uh, I've had a lost for words in it. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Things worth knowing. Well, newsflash, formerly things worth knowing at BIGGIRL_72. And I'm going to end this video. I'll have more to say. I'm just, I'm just out. It's unbelievable to me. But what's going on? Because I cannot believe that this young man had been killed. And like I said, a young man who I had, I didn't agree with anything he said. A far right young man, very racist, a Christian nationalist, which is a white supremacist, and had ideologies. You know, he was against homosexuals. He was against DEI hiring. He was against, you name it, he was against it. Anything. He was down with the deportation of the mass deportation of illegal immigrants. He was against Taylor Swift because she wasn't married. Nobody would want to marry her. Just a whole bunch of stuff that didn't make too much sense to me. But he spent his time going with young people, debating young children, which in itself, to me, why would anybody why would anybody want to debate young 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds who really aren't really suited to nothing? But anyway, I'm going to end this video and thank those who joined. Thank you. And if you, again, once again, if you haven't, please like and subscribe to my channel. Things worth knowing. Newsflash, formerly things worth knowing at BIGGIRL_. Everyone have a good night.